There are some massive changes coming to the Willoughby Heights neighborhood located in the Langley Township. In this video, I'm going to go over the brand new development plan for Willoughby Heights that's going to run along the 200th Street corridor. This plan is called 200th by 2040. The area to be developed stretches 800 meters on either side of 200th Street and spans 4.5 kilometers long, ending at 68th Avenue. There's definitely some mixed feelings on this development plan for the transit-orientated corridor. These plans are definitely going to change the look and feel of Willoughby Heights, and I'll dive into the development plans with you shortly. If you guys are enjoying my content, I'd greatly appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe button. If you want to book a call with me to talk about anything real estate, you can do so by clicking the link in the description below. The Langley Township is one of the fastest growing municipalities in the region. When we look at Willoughby Heights, which is a sub-neighborhood of the Langley Township, we can see a big change from what used to be a suburbanized commuter neighborhood into an amenity-rich, urbanized, transit-focused neighborhood. That's what this 200th Street corridor plan is aimed to do. Let's take a deep dive into this 200th by 2040 corridor plan that's been put in place. We have 200th Street coming right down the center. It runs 4.5 kilometers down to just above 68th Avenue, which is very close to the separator of Willoughby Heights or the Langley Township to Langley City. And Langley City is going to accommodate the SkyTrain extension that will run along Fraser Highway, which is located here, and 203rd Street. There's going to be 3 main rapid bus route stations located throughout this corridor, one at 86th Avenue, a second at 80th and 200th, and a final that's going to be at 72nd and 200th Street. Those are going to be the main hubs, and there's going to be towers built around each of those rapid bus routes. I have to show you this rendering that Essence Property did for the corridor here to bring everything to life for you on what to expect. Here is the Golden Ears Bridge, so that separates Langley Township or Walnut Grove, the sub-neighborhood, to Maple Ridge, and then here's 200th Street right down the middle of the corridor. All the towers are going to be right alongside 200th Street. Here's the Langley Event Center that's already in place and home to the Vancouver Giants. That's going to be one of the major rapid bus transit routes. There's 3, as I mentioned. So the first one will be up here around 86th Avenue, and the third one down to the south. We can't see it in this diagram, but look at all these towers. Like, this to me is mind-blowing. It's just going to be a whole cluster of towers with mid-rise surrounding the main towers located alongside 200th Street. They're really trying to be transit focused with this corridor and make walkability a lot better. When you have a community plan that's as dense as this one, you can't have people relying on cars. This is going to be a very walkable, urbanized community. It's not going to be the old Willoughby that we remember. So I grew up in Willoughby, and over the last 10 years, I've seen it change massively. So to see these plans, it's going to be quite the transformation. And it's inevitable that the Fraser Valley and Greater Vancouver areas have 2 main housing problems. The first is affordability, and the second is supply. We don't have enough housing for the population and number of people that are moving to the Fraser Valley area, specifically Langley. Like, I've seen so many people move out of the city, Vancouver, Burnaby, and even parts of Coquitlam out to Langley because it is a lot more affordable. And now we're just starting to build the infrastructure and transit that this new population requires. Currently, the Langley Township has 150,000 people, and this corridor alone is set to bring 98,500 more people to it. On top of that population, this new corridor is set to bring in just over 47,000 new housing units, 58,000 new industrial jobs, and 941,000 square feet of new retail space. That's an insane amount. That's not the township, that's just that corridor. And I'll show you the plans because there's going to be quite a few high rises that are put in. Here's the corridor again, separated by colors that represent the type of buildings that you're going to see in every area. Here's 86th and 200th. That's where the Carvoth Exchange Center is, right here. The red outlines 20 plus story buildings, so towers. There's going to be a cluster around that 86 and 200th area where there's already rapid bus transit to the Lougheed SkyTrain station with service to Vancouver. There's going to be another cluster around 80th and 200th Street. This currently is where the Langley Event Center is and where there's going to be another rapid bus transit route. There's a final cluster here, but most of them are going to be located in the middle to the northern part. Here's Highway 1. So there's going to be even towers going into the Walnut Grove side. Highway 1 is the divider between Willoughby Heights and Walnut Grove, both located in the Langley Township. The pink outlines 12-plus story buildings. On the west part of 200th Street in the upper northern corner, there's going to be a cluster, again around that 80th area where there's going to be another bus route, and a final one around the 74th Avenue area where the third rapid bus route will be. In the red, there's going to be the towers really close to those bus routes, and on the outer parts, then we move into kind of shorter towers, but still like 12 plus towers is a lot for Langley. Right now, we predominantly see the 6+ stories, and that's what's represented in the orange here. So those are your wood frame buildings. Most of them have retail on the bottom, such as coffee shops, professional buildings and fitness facilities. And then the upper 5 levels are designated for residential use that usually accommodate 1 to 3 bedroom condos. Finally, we've got a low-rise mid-density, so they're calling them stacked townhomes. Those are going to be on the most western outer portions of this corridor. And then there's a final one over here as well on the east part, just above where it ends on 68th Avenue. A lot of high-density living options definitely coming into play. And as you can imagine, that's going to require widening of roads and more transit-friendly walkability for these people because, again, when you have a community plan that's as dense as this, we just can't rely on cars. To share the transportation strategy with you, 200th is going to be the main source for people to get through on a bus. There's going to be some cycling paths as well and sidewalks. Obviously, you can see some parkland too. There is plans for parks and open spaces for people to enjoy as well. But that's definitely still a lot of buildings and people to accommodate into the area of which has already been developed quite substantially over the last 10 years. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this community plan that's set to come into play in the Willoughby area. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about it. It seems like our small community of Langley is definitely changing, and it is solving the problem of, providing more housing to a growing population, which we need. It's just kind of different to see Willoughby as that almost a mini city, and people just continue to keep moving further out east due to affordability. If you guys want any more information on this community plan, if you want to chat about it in more detail, you can click the link in the description below to set up a call. And if you guys found this information to be beneficial to you, I'd greatly appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.